without like, without any connection to any country.
Okay, so
but
welcome
polygamy broadly. Yeah.
More broadly, yeah. Well, welcome everybody to another video on Hungry Debates. Today, I was going to say tomorrow. Today, where Alex and I want to have a conversation about polygamy, right? Essentially, men marrying multiple women, right? Right. As opposed
maybe, to women marrying multiple men.
That's a different word, though. That's polyamory. Yeah. So
no, that's
right.
polyandry.
Oh, polyandry. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think polygamy can be both male and female. So polygamy is not necessarily has reference to sex. It's just
it does.
Either or. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Why?
It does.
Because polyandry has a reference to sex. Let me tell you, polygamy.
Oh, you're right. Actually,
maybe.
You're right. Because I see the definition.
Polyandry is a Greek word. Means many men, basically.
I see. You're right, because the definition is the practice or custom of having more than one wife or husband at the same time. So it's yeah. You're right. So, but
so let's define terms. Polygamy is like marrying multiple spouses.
But our concern for today is men marrying multiple wives. Is that our concern for today?
No, I would say polygamy more broadly, like in general. Is it okay? Do you think it's okay for people having multiple spouses? Like not just partners, but spouses.
Okay, here's my take on it. You want to hear my take on it? Take on it.
I mean, yes.
My take on it is that, in spite of the fact that polygamy is lawful Islamically, I think that in spirit, the ideal is marrying one woman. In spirit, yeah.
And why is that?
Why is that? Why is marrying one is the ideal? Or
explain.
It might not be the ideal in all circumstances, right? It's not the ideal in all circumstances, but I would say, right, it's not the ideal in all circumstances, right? There are circumstances that where it makes sense to have the allowance for polygamy, right? A good example would be China, right? China, where the number of women outnumber the number of men. This would be a good place for polygamy, right?
Outnumber like negatively. Is that what you mean? Because I think there are more men in China than women. They down-number.
You're right.
You should have said negatively outnumber.
So it's
a funny way of saying it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I confused the point. But let's say you had a country where the women outnumbered the men.
So in China, there'll be female polygamy.
Well, I disagree with female polygamy. Right? I disagree with female polygamy. Why? Actually, Andrew Tate put it really well. Why? Okay. Here's the thing, right? Not because of the woman that polygamy that this is wrong. From the male side, it's wrong. Because of the psychology of males, infanticide becomes more likely if a woman marries multiple men, because of the psychology of males, right? I can give you anecdotal evidence. I can give you evidence from other animals. So let me explain.
So you think that like it will make men go crazy, to put it simply?
Yes.
Isn't that cultural though?
I don't think it's
just cultural.
I can give you.
But it's obviously cultural.
So the example
brought up in a culture where like men go crazy, and that's okay.
So I'm talking
and women
about
go crazy, and that's okay. And people go crazy, and it's okay.
But the anecdote I can tell you about is this is in America.
Okay, go ahead.
This is in America, where this woman, she was in a polyandric relationship with 4 men, one of whom was the biological father of the baby that she had, right? And she had so basically she had like open relationship, right? And they were all living together, by the way, right? It turned out that one of the other men was abusing the baby, right? Abusing the baby.
Oh, of course,
right?
that's really bad. That's bad choice of partners.
Right.
That's why whenever you say like that there were 4 men, I don't think that, you know, it takes a lot of time to choose one partner. So, I mean, if we're talking about a sort of a polygamic relationship with many partners, I really think, there are security concerns, so to speak, because one man can control many women, whereas a woman cannot even control one man. So there are security concerns first of all, for the children. That I agree. That's why I think that male polygamy is more preferable than female polygamy. Although I really think that it doesn't solve the problem, because there are women who want to have sex with multiple men, and it's like, and again, but it's more about sex. It's not like you know, sort of like getting off track here because
I don't want to get into the sex side of things, because in my view, I think for women, sex is less important than it is for men. It is important for women, but it's less important. What women care more about is children. They care more about having children.
But before they have children, after they have children, it changes a lot for a woman.
Sure, exactly. But then if we look at an example from the animal kingdom, because it's quite illustrative, right? So the bonobo apes, right? The bonobo apes. When a bonobo female is in heat, she will have sex with every bonobo male, and this is in order to reduce the likelihood of infanticide.
What?
So if she has is it infanticide or infanticide?
Because killing a baby.
Yeah, exactly. So when she has a baby, then because she has sex with every male, right? They will think, or there's a possibility that's theirs, right? But if she doesn't have sex with one of the males, the chances that male will kill the baby is higher, right? So it seems.
I really think it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
No.
I don't think they even make this connection between having sex and fathering this child. Because I think they literally, how do they know? Are they monkeys, right?
We're talking about monkeys. We're talking about bonobo apes, right?
Do you think they make this connection, like having sex and fathering child? I think they
absolutely
they would rather rely on their instincts, because, well, I mean, like your child feels close to you, and
you're underestimating them. You're underestimating their intelligence.
Maybe I am.
But in any case, I'm illustrating with an example from the animal kingdom, and we are, biologically, evolutionarily close to them. So we can see how our brain is hardwired, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. So
I may be underestimating, but at the same time, I think that most people overestimate the ability of animals to think. They are stupid animals. And because I have a dog. He's stupid.
Yeah, but we're talking about
all
dogs.
The rest of them are stupid.
Yeah, dogs and apes are different things, right? And in any case, do
you really think that this ape can really make this connection? Oh, I fucked that woman. I mean, that female ape, and therefore it's my child.
No, it's about
how it works for them.
It's about probabilities, right? It's not that they have sex.
Because it's for you. It's for you. Because you obviously this connection. It's established for you, like sex.
Yeah.
Children. But I don't think that for them it's even they know about it. They just
well,
they just
they
have
work
sex
on
with them
instinct.
because they want to, and then they.
But
they see children. Children, nice.
You do realize some apes can learn sign language, and by the way, bonobos amongst the different apes are one of the most intelligent ones. Just to let you know, right? So of all the apes, bonobos are among the most intelligent, right? And so the fact that they can learn sign language, think about that. They can learn that an action equals is a symbol for something. So they can say, I want an apple, or I'm hungry. They can signal that. So they can understand that actions can equal a certain thing. They know how to associate, right? Which shows intelligence, right? Okay. So I mean, yeah, just to kind of give that. Anyway, we're kind of getting off track here. So we're talking about polygamy. We're talking about polyandry. I disagree with women.
Let's go back to polygamy.
Yeah, I disagree with women having multiple men because of the instability it causes. It's less likely. It's less likely that there will be harmony in that setup as opposed to one man, multiple women. Although there's also disharmony with that setup too. There's disharmony in both setups, but again, it depends on how you do it.
There can be disharmony in the one-on-one setup. So
yes, obviously.
Why do you think it makes it more harmonic?
Because there's fewer pieces involved, right?
Well, that makes sense. But again, it's been proven by multiple occasions that there are like millions of families absolutely dysfunctional.
Yeah, 50% divorce rate. I mean, on all that, right? So but here's the thing. From an Islamic perspective, the key principle is egalitarianism. So
and what is that? Can you explain that?
So, being equal, treating things equally, right? Fairly, right? So can the man treat all the women fairly and equally? Does he have the capacity to treat them fairly and equally, not just financially, but emotionally, psychologically? Can he, not really exactly like favor women and so on? Although having favorites is a kind of natural thing, but can he treat them all treat them all equally, and give each equal time, equal resources, and things like that? So one wife doesn't have less.
This is a very murky ground, man, because it's
exactly.
I mean, you can absolutely measure equalness in terms of bank account, and money. There you can measure equalness because you, as a man, you can provide for women equally, but there is no way you can measure equality on the spiritual level, on the involvement and
exactly. So it is precisely for that reason why I said that the spirit of Islam would suggest that the ideal is one woman, because of maybe the virtual impossibility of actually providing that egalitarianism. Because of that impossibility, to be really fully just with that, it would be easier to have one.
Yeah.
Because of the increased likelihood of injustice. Even though it's allowed.
Of course, there'll be injustices, but at the same time, it depends. But there are so many angles you can look at it, because you can have a favorite, but then that favorite can fall out of grace with you, and you can move on to the next one.
Fall out of favor,
fall out of favor, and so it's there's a timeline. And there is really no way, and I really want to point that out, that it's a very murky ground, and it's very hard to measure, and there is no way this can be measured. And so the only way to measure this would be money.
I mean, that's the most obvious, right? Yeah, I mean,
and that's the only one.
Yeah, I mean, by and large, I think, practically speaking, the way they do it in Islam is like financial resources and like physical resources. So like each woman is entitled to a separate room that's hers, right? Each woman is entitled to a certain amount of time for that woman, and each woman is entitled to the clothes and the resources that she needs to take care of the children that she has and with the man. So yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
Okay.
that's all there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right, obviously, right. But yeah, they're not necessarily entitled to their own house. It's more like they're entitled to their own room, right? So that's
Yeah.
so you could technically live with multiple women in one household, but
Or
they each should
their
at
own
least have their own
shed.
room. Yeah, their own room or their own shed.
Yeah.
But but
Anyway, but
what's
do you think that in the modern world though, where there is so many, which is so much different from what was there when all these concepts were conceived, do you think that even this only idea that it's so different, it probably calls for a change or for a reform in in the whole concept of that? Because for me, I really think that uh, every family, every marriage revolves around children. So before you have children, you can go and have, fun. But once you had a child, you are obliged to look after that child until he or she becomes, adult. And therefore, the rules of the game change dramatically. But it doesn't mean that that you have to follow this, rigid, old school rules. I'm pretty confident that there are many other possibilities for you to provide for the child, both like mentally and physically, in terms of like money. And at the same time, you can have, at the same time, you can have fun and enjoy life. And I think that this should be the goal. And I
well,
really
I
think
mean,
that the whole idea that the man should sort of provide for the woman, yes, the man must provide for the woman, and so does the woman. So the woman also has to provide for the man, and therefore they think they kind of become mutually exclusive, and therefore the only thing that matters in the end is the children.
you mean
And
mutually reciprocal, wasn't it? Right? Or reciprocal.
I mean mutually exclusive. Like they become irrelevant because So because I have to provide for the woman have to provide for me, we have to provide for each other. It's obvious, and it is irrelevant because like we both have to do it, and at the same time we may provide for each other separately, but still we have this, the point of reference, which is the child, and everything revolves around the child, and it can take different forms. And I mean, where I'm trying to get to is that, do you think that modern women, they they live in the world of dreams, and they pursue unrealistic goals?
Such a broad question. Such a broad question.
Of course, it's a broad question. It is a
Yeah,
broad question, but do you think that Western culture in general incentivizes unrealistic goals for women?
yes,
Like,
yes. So,
because if you look at a woman who's unmarried, childless, in her 30s, she's probably waiting for her Jay-Z.
yes, this is the thing with women is that they're and the problem is there are some super women out there that are able to have it kind of all, but the reality is you can't have a full-blown career and be a wonderful mom at the same time. It's really difficult to balance because being a wonderful mom is
Oh yeah,
in
wonderful
itself,
mom.
and I specifically use
It's
that adjective because you can be a mom, but you can be a
Yeah,
shit mom, right?
that's all you
And
need. Yeah, all you need to be. You just need to be a mom, not a shit mom, not by any means. But
yeah,
again,
yeah,
if you're a shit mom and there's a daddy who's okay, it's better than when you're just a shit mom and there's nobody else beside
you're.
beside you.
I think to some degree, if one side is shit, it really pulls everything down. It becomes a total negative. I don't think
It
the other
No,
side.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. I really
I
think
think
that
I
that
one side is shit.
It cannot depend on one side, like, you know.
No, I'm
completely.
saying because it's the way that my father said, like, if you, for example, have a rich person and a poor person, so he said, you know, the way to make a rich person poor, or a rich family poor, is give them some poor people. So, like, for example, he always gave the example of West Germany and East Germany. West Germany was not under communism, right, and was rich.
No.
East Germany was under communism and was poor. And then when the Berlin Wall fell, there was some level of, like, instability and stuff, right? When these two had to merge. So obviously now Germany is very strong economically, but there was that kind of turbulence. So I'm saying that I think if you have a shit parent, it drags the whole thing down, unless the other parent really makes up. But if so, I think the minimum is both need to be sufficient or okay. That's the minimum, right? They don't have to be perfect. Yeah. And if one of them,
that is the best thing. Yeah.
If one of them is wonderful, and then the other one's just okay, life can be pretty good, right? You know. But if one of them,
there's so much pressure. And then if you think about it, there's so much pressure put on the woman by, you know, the Western culture. Like, she has to be a perfect mother, she has to have a perfect career, and she has to be married to a Jay-Z. And all of it put together is completely unachievable. And you can't be even one of those things, not just three of them put together.
Exactly. And this is the thing. I would say that there are some women who are very, very practical, very pragmatic, and they enjoy. They just want the simple things in life, which is what they want a safe environment where they can provide for their children. I think my wife is one of those, where, you know, she's happy as long as there's a safe environment. She's not pursuing
a career.
I mean, she would like to earn money, but she's not hungry for that. She's more, and primarily the reason for that is just to provide for her kids. She's not interested in the career.
Maybe the reason why she's not hungry is because she hasn't been exposed to certain things, and her greed is not being developed. So, you know, to the point where you like, I want a good car, I want like a good house. I don't want to live in this shit.
I mean, she grew up poor, but not destitute. Like, I mean, she grew up poor, but not destitute, destitute. So I think that's the difference.
That describes it. That describes it, because I think she hasn't been exposed to the temptations a lot, and that's why she's quite happy with her humble life. But once she gets the exposure, she might change, but not necessarily. But she might, and she might not.
Right. But yeah. But
because before we moved here, my wife was just like, she was okay with what she had. Which means she didn't have a lot, but she had something, and I couldn't give her a lot, but I could give her something, and she was totally happy with that. But now that we moved here, she got exposed to all that you can possibly have. Yeah, and therefore her list of desires has increased dramatically. Now she doesn't want a bag; she wants a Gucci bag, and probably at some point she will be a person who doesn't want a car, but who wants at least a Mercedes car. And so it kind of, your appetite grows, and I really think that on top of that, there's this, because every woman feels this pressure to be the wonderful mother, the wonderful mother, not just a mother, but the most wonderful mother.
I think that's the mother's instinct. I don't think that's society. Yeah.
I think that it is the instinct, of course. Part of it is the instinct, but another part is what has been not assigned, but sort of imposed by society and by the culture, because everybody grew up watching television. Let's face it, everybody grew up watching those films, and in those films there's, you know, they don't show you this regular life, although they do sometimes, but most of the time it's rich people who can afford things, you know, who can afford servants, housewives, etc. And yeah, and many women, they grow up looking at that, and again, well, some of them do, some of them don't have this urges, you know, and unrealistic dreams. But again, there's a, and then you put all of this into this monogamic situation. Let's return to the. Oh man, I think I need to drop because I think I have to drop for the call.
Okay,
So
enough,
let's wrap it up here.
Yeah,
I don't think we will be able to